Hey, it's Desi. I wonder if the sound is good in here. Cause I can't turn this AC off. At this point, it has to be. Oh, let me turn the lights on. Okay, that's better. Since I'm a very calm person and I like to promote a calm atmosphere, a lot of times I sit in my classroom with the lights dim. So I just kind of have some of the lights on and then some of them like close to the board are off. But for the sake of the video, I'm like, let me turn all the lights on, right? So this video is so funny to me because I'm about to go ahead and tell you why I am quitting teaching after 3 weeks, okay? So that's what we're gonna talk about. The school district, right? They get on TV, they're on the news, they're in, you know, all over the internet, boohoo crying about how they need teachers and they need people and blah, blah, blah. But I see why these people don't want to be here because I have now added myself to those people. Like, I'm so done. Like, it is a hot mess. I knew that my second day working, I knew that I would never do this again in my life. So I'm just like, I'm not about to waste my time or nobody else's time. So I have reasons. I do. I have reasons for why.
Students who are arriving late, please report to homeroom at this time. We have new student schedules. Do not assume that you have the same schedule that you had at the beginning of the school year. Please go pick up your new student schedule in your homeroom at this time. Report to homeroom at this time.
Right, so that announcement takes me to my first point because sis has notes, okay? You know, because I'm the type of person where I have to make T-charts and I make pros and cons and I don't just, I used to be a very impulsive person. I'm not impulsive at all. Like, I make T-charts and I see what's good, what's bad. Can I handle the bad or does the bad outweigh the good? So, you know, your girl has all of that, all of it. So there was basically some type of law in Florida that was supposed to be passed to get teachers to get their a raise. I'm gonna just cut straight to the chase. Teachers were supposed to get a raise. The county that I live in did not approve said raise. Because of that, like 2 or 3 weeks ago, we lost like 300 teachers. People quit and they went to the counties that would give them the raise. Ever since then, they've had like some district people in working, whatever the case may be, but all of them went back to their jobs, to their offices. So now we're stuck with like 2,500 kids and like 15 teachers. I'm talking about crazy stuff. So they were trying to get, you know, subs. Let me see if somebody at my door.
This is my final reminder for students just arriving. Please report to homeroom to pick up your new student schedule. Do not assume that you have the same schedule that you had from the beginning of the year or even yesterday. Please go pick up your new student schedule in homeroom. Homeroom is until 9 o'clock. Please remain in homeroom until the end of the homeroom session. Teachers, please remember to distribute all of the documents. The progress reports must go out today in anticipation of conference night tomorrow night from 4:30 to 7. New student schedules, emergency cards. Students, you must take those cards home to your parents for them to correct the information so that if there's an emergency that we need to notify your parent, we have the correct phone number and email address on file. And then also for the junior class only, remember we're meeting with the junior class on Friday. Juniors, hold on to those cumulative summaries. They give you detailed information on your status toward graduation.
Okay.
When you review that document, identify whether or not you have already passed the required assessments in order to get a high school diploma. If you have not met those requirements or you're missing credits or you've earned an F in a required course. You're going to need to make it up. So please make sure you hold on to those documents for Friday's meeting with our juniors during first and second period. Thank you, and have a fantastic morning in the land of the Tigers.
Let me go ahead and start right here. They do that all day. So I don't have a homeroom, but imagine if I had a room full of kids trying to teach. They will do that at any moment of the day that they feel like there's something that they got to say that needs to be heard, okay? No, it cannot wait until morning announcements. No, it cannot wait until afternoon announcements. If they want to say something, they will interrupt the whole day, the entire schedule, all of your teaching, your PowerPoint. They don't care about none of that. They're going to interrupt and they're going to talk for 15 minutes. And that's what's going to happen. And then imagine trying to get your kids refocused to go back into your lesson. Okay, so she just gave me an extra one. Thank you so much, ma'am. I'm going to give you reasons. So my first reason is going to start with the schedule change thing that she's talking about. Understaffed. Very, very understaffed. And it's like a domino effect, because like people quit.
Coach Courtney, you have visitors waiting in the guidance office. Coach Courtney.
Courtney has a walkie-talkie. You could have called him on the walkie-talkie, like, y'all. Okay, I'm trying to calm down because I still got to teach 3 classes today. But understaffed, that's what I was talking about, understaffed. A lot of teachers left because the work conditions, not exactly because of the work. It's like, okay, yeah, it's some work, but you know that, you know, but you plan your days out well. You're prepared to do your job. What we are not prepared to do is our job and everybody else's job. And because it is so understaffed, now all of those classes that did not have teachers and they weren't able to find subs for, they just removed those classes and threw them into everybody else's classes. So whereas you would have had a class of 30 kids, because the class across the hall from you doesn't have a teacher, now half of their kids you have and half of their kids somebody else has. So now you have 45, dang near 50 kids in one room. So the first issue is how understaffed everything is. My next point I want to make is, let's talk about this. I just have one word. I don't even know how to give a prelude. Disrespectful. Okay? Come on, somebody. Disrespectful. My first day here, when I tell you I walked through the door and I had to practically beg people for instruction. Like I walk in and they're like, they just looking at me. And then I'm like, hey, this is my first day. What you doing? Who you need to talk to? So
just another reminder, students, please go to homeroom and stay there until the bell rings.
And
we are in homeroom session. Please do not release students to go and talk about their schedules for any reason. Please, students, as you arrive on campus, please go to homeroom and remain there until the bell rings. Go to homeroom.
So in lines of disrespectful, right? The people that work here are the meanest, most disrespectful people that I've ever met in my life. And I've lived a little bit of life, and I'm not gonna put up with it. You hear her, she yelling at the kids over the intercom. Like, I don't care how frustrated you are, you shouldn't be treating people's kids like crap. Like, and if I have not come to any other conclusion while working here, one of them is my kids ain't coming. My child, please, I homeschool mine. I do some full-time online something, but unless it's just an immaculate school, this right here, this is not gonna fly. This is ridiculous. I'm talking about disrespectful to other adults, disrespectful to kids, just overall some of the nastiest people you will ever see in your life. And it just makes me wonder, like, how did you choose this field of work? Because if you hate kids that much, it's not adding up to me. Like, why are you here? Like, when I tell you these people are so disrespectful, it doesn't make any sense. And the disrespect just spreads because a lot of the kids are really good kids. You know, they are some really like nice, loving kids. And you can see the difference of like the evolution of the kids by looking at the freshmen and then the seniors. The freshmen are just the nicest, loving, playful little people. And then the seniors are like the meanest, nasty, rudest people. But that's because when they came in as freshmen, they were all happy and young and full of life. And then by the time they became a senior, they just took on the culture of the school. So now all they want to do is cuss people out, yell at people. They have no morals, no values. And kids do what they see. And they can only learn what you're teaching them. So the disrespect that is in the front office just travels through the entire school. And I mean, like, not just the front office, whatever, everywhere. All of the people who are just disrespectful. I had a teacher yell at me because he thought I was a student. Now, mind you, I'm the youngest person at my job, literally. I'm 22 years old, right? I'm the youngest person at my job. So they be trying to little girl me, you know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna hold you. Like, I don't have a bad attitude, but at the end of the day, I feel like I give off this don't play with me energy, right? Most of the kids are really good kids, you know, very loving, likable people. But, you know, I can say that this new generation of kids have got to be like most of the kids are likable, loving people, but another large chunk of them are some of the most disrespectful people you will ever meet in your life. And it's sad because as parents, you know, you should be doing everything in your power to make sure that your kid is not the reason why the teachers want to quit. Because essentially, that's going to be your baby. And I'm talking about 14, 15-year-olds that need to be here. They need help. And all the qualified people that are trying to help them, they're not going to put up with this. And you're talking about educated people that can go elsewhere and receive a lot more. And you think they're going to want to sit in a classroom and get cussed out by your 14-year-old? So then you wonder why there's no teachers and then your baby can't read or write, because look at your baby. Nobody's gonna put up with that. And I believe that that's one thing that kind of surprised everybody at my job, is that I was definitely one of those people that made a decision that I'm not gonna put up with anything. You know, there are sometimes in life where some people have to make sacrifices, and I feel like this is one of those times in my life where it really made me grateful for my position. You know, I don't have no kids. I don't have a whole lot of things in my life that require me to have to put up with stuff. So like, if you're a certain age and you got a certain amount of kids that need you, that need provision, stuff like that, you put up with a lot from a job. You do. You know, I know a lot of people who hate their jobs, but they continue to go to work because they got kids to feed, they got bills to pay. Baby, one thing about me, honey, I quit this job but that's for any job. Like, I thank God that I'm in a place where I don't have to put up with disrespect and foolishness and just downright insanity, all in the name of a check. I'm the type where when I don't really blow through my money, you know, I save my money, I put my money up. So if comes a time where I feel like this is something that I'm not going to be able to do, I can walk away. I can. And there are so many people here that are stuck. And it just taught me a lot, which I'm going off topic, some people talking about understand, but it just taught me a lot about life and how you always want to be in a position where you're not stuck. You're not tied up to something, because that's when people will just go bananas on how they treat you because they feel like you're obligated, right? The next thing I want to go over, because the bell about to ring, okay? But the next thing I want to go over is how the school district, I said a little bit about it before, and I don't know who in there, you know, I'm just talking about the whole building. You know, they whine about, you know, the need that is in the department, but they have no urgency to fulfill those needs. I have essentially been working here for 3 weeks. And when I tell you, there's so many things for me to do this job that have not been provided, that has not even been processed. They talk about like, oh, we're really backed up and blah, blah, blah. Okay, I understand y'all backed up, but y'all need teachers, right? Y'all say y'all need the people. So I feel like that should be on the priority list. I shouldn't be waiting 4 weeks for you to update anything in the system when you need me here so bad. And that goes for what we need as teachers, as well as what we need for the kids. The school district, in my experience, they have a zero sense of urgency to provide the things that we need. Literally, you talking about you need things to make instruction better for the kids, and there's nobody that's going to give that to you. Like, no. There's very little support, you know, and the little that is there is not what you need. It's like, well, this is what I have, but, you know, it's the best I can do. And it's like, well, that's not what I need. And honestly, to sum it all up, I can say that the carelessness, carelessness will have to be my full throttle. Now, I'm somebody, I did not go to high school. I was homeschooled in high school. I went to high school my freshman year. Everything after that, I was homeschooled. So with that being said, maybe that's why all of this is like very culture shockish to me, because I never experienced like I didn't experience the full high school life, so I don't remember it being this wild. But like, for example, at this school, they have homecoming coming up. So first of all, nobody bought tickets. Nobody ran for court for like the first however long. They had to literally extend things just to get people to do it. Right, that says a lot, doesn't it? Okay, but they were trying to promote homecoming, so they had a DJ go to the lunchroom and like play music to tell the kids like, all right, make sure you get your homecoming tickets. It's gonna be, you know, even more lit, you know, if you think this is lit, you know, type stuff. So one of my kids came back to the room and she was like, Miss Henderson, what she said, I was in lunch eating it up. And I said, oh, you ate today? Look at me, just oblivious. Because she's one of those people where she never really, she said she never wants to go to lunch. She'll always try to stay with me in the room because she's like, oh, I don't eat school lunch anyway, so can I just stay here? So because she went to lunch and she came back like, oh, I was eating it up. I was like, oh, you ate today? That's good. You got some food in you, because this girl never eats. Like, she never eats. So half the time I be in here giving her like chips and snacks that I have because I know that this child ain't ate all day. She was like, no, Miss, ew, I didn't eat no school lunch. I'm like, so what do you mean you were in the cafeteria eating it up? She said, oh, Miss, I was dancing. I said, you were what? She said, yeah, they had a DJ in there for homecoming, and we was all lined up around the cafeteria, and we was throwing it back. I said, excuse me? I said, so you're telling me that you were in the lunchroom during lunch twerking? Yeah, Miss, not just me. Everybody was in there showing out. I'm sorry. Either I'm insane, or what do we gain by having a bunch of 14 and 15-year-old girls twerking in the lunchroom? I'm like, I know you're lying, because there has to be a better way. And the thing is, a lot of these kids are so grown that you can't really tell them nothing anyway. So there are certain things that you just have to not open the door for. Now, sure, you can play some music. I'm not saying you got to be like me and listen to, you know, whatever. You listen to whatever you want to do. That's your business. But I just feel like, of course, you didn't ask the kids to twerk, but you went in there playing twerk music. Then the kids start twerking, and then y'all pull that whole, oh, well, we can't tell them what to do card. But why would you play the music? There's plenty of other types of music that you can play to get the kids hyped for homecoming. I just don't understand why you would play Bounce Your Booty Like a Basketball if you ain't got no booty, don't shake it all. and not expect them to twerk. Like, what did you think they were gonna do? Bounce their backpack? Their lunch bag? No. They're going to bounce their booty like a basketball. Like, and I feel like that's another thing that pissed me off. Like, I don't, because I'm like, that blew me. That really blew me, because I'm like, why are we, this is what we're doing? And to sum it up, I feel like I've learned that I won't send my kids to public school. And I'm not about to teach at no public school, but let me go. Okay, so, oh my God. The AC is so loud in here that I always feel like you can't hear me. All right, so this is an update to my initial workhouse rant. Because the rant is valid, man. Like, I was considering whether I was gonna post it or not, and I was re-watching it, and I said, this rant is so valid that it 100% has to be posted. So I'm gonna post a rant, but I just have to like give clarity as far as the fact that like I still work here. The day that I filmed the rant, I quit. I said, I'm done, this is it for me. And then by the time I go to lunch and come back, I got the principal and the AP at my door to my, what you mean you quit? We don't know what we gonna do with your kids. So I'm like, all right. So I made a decision that I'm gonna finish out this school year, you know what I'm saying? Because I started it, and a lot of the kids that I teach would essentially have nobody. They're not gonna have nobody to teach them. They're gonna literally just be gone with the wind, having random subs all year, or sitting in the gym. So I'm gonna finish out this school year, but it doesn't change the fact that the rent is elite, man. And it just, so the rent is being posted regardless. So yeah. Yeah.